Hi folks, so this is me, Lauren Steiner from the Robust Opposition. I am in Lake Worth, Florida, where I came down for a week to visit family. And afterwards, I was just kind of shopping around, killing time in this cute little town of Lake Worth here. And I was in a gallery and I found out about a shooting that is at a high school about an hour away from here. The situation is ongoing. I checked CNN. If it were closer, I might drive over there to check out the situation myself. But I was told it's an hour away and the shooter is still at large. So I'm here with Andrew, and Andrew is a resident of Lake Worth, and I was saying to Andrew that I was in the store where I heard about the shooting, and the owner of the store, I said, this is why we have to have gun control. My followers in Los Angeles know that we had a school shooting. A middle schooler a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago actually, came into school with a handgun in her backpack. The handgun went off in the backpack. 2 people were shot, and the boy still has the bullet in his head. So I said, you know, this is not going to stop unless we get rid of guns, and we're not going to get rid of guns because the NRA. And the owner of the store said to me, well, the answer is to give the teachers guns. So I don't understand this philosophy, because I don't think we should return to the days of the Wild Wild West where you have the shootout in the OK Corral or whatever that was called. I think we should disarm everybody, including the cops, because the cops are doing a lot of shootings themselves, as we know. And Andrew seems to agree with the idea of giving everybody guns. So now, Andrew.
I wouldn't say everybody. I definitely wouldn't say everybody.
So tell me, because you were saying you grew up with guns.
Yes, I did. And I think as long as you know how to control them, and as long as they are used correctly, they are a great tool, not so much a weapon. People were brought up with them. Our country was founded on it. People ate with it. Back in the day, that's the only way people were able to eat any type of meat or anything. They had to hunt for it. And I grew up hunting myself. And I shot my first gun when I was 4 years old. I killed my first doe when I was 7. I shot my first 10-point buck when I was 12. I've had my own gun since my grandpa gave it to me on my 8th birthday. As far as the guns go with teachers and everything else like that, yes, I think that teachers should be trained and should have a concealed license and be able to carry a gun at school. Not publicly or on them, but in a safe, somewhere safe and locked. So just in case something is happening or there is a vigilante or whatever comes into the place, they can protect themselves and the children of the school. Not so much for the kids. As far as metal detectors go and stuff like that and gun control, I'm fully with it as long as it's for the right reasons and not just to take it away from the right people who have a right to be able to own a gun and are actual competent with it. Me, myself, no, I would never give up my guns.
Well, you know, the First Amendment was designed to have an armed militia, okay? It wasn't designed for every citizen to have a gun.
No.
And now it has been completely perverted by the fact that you have a lot of criminals that have guns and, oh dear, you have a lot of people that have guns, and one of the biggest causes of, I should say that the biggest gun death is suicide. I think something like 45% of the deaths by guns are suicide. So giving people guns isn't necessarily going to prevent these kinds of shootings, which are rare. I mean, they're common, but they're rare compared to the biggest cause of gun deaths, which is suicide.
Well, that's why I also believe that there should be a larger psych evaluation for anybody who can carry a gun to make sure they have the right mindset, they're not suicidal, they're not any type of dangerous. I know some people can pass those without any help or anything like that, but at least it will help control more instead of just looking to see if they're a past felon or anything like that.
But you know how people get around these laws. They basically find some friend who doesn't have a psychological condition or doesn't have a criminal record, and they get them to go in, and there's plenty of willing gun store owners who are willing to kind of look the other way.
But that's also why they should track guns a lot better. Everything should be registered. I know a lot of my rifles, I don't have to have registered. As far as my pistols go, yes, they're all registered. But I know out here you can go to a Walmart, you can buy a rifle right then and there without going through any conflict or any confrontation at all. Just walk in the store, buy one, and walk out. I do believe that whether it's a pistol or just a rifle, there should be more of a, I don't know how to the proper word to use, I guess. More of a
Scrutiny?
I guess, yeah. That'd be a good word. To actually be able to own something like that.
Now, you said this is not a political issue, but you know that the National Rifle Association is one of the biggest
I've
lobbyists.
been part of NRA since I was 6 years old.
Right. Now, do you have to pay dues?
Yes.
Okay, so you know that your dues go towards their lobbying efforts, right?
No, not necessarily. I didn't know.
Well, they do. They're one of the largest.
I don't mind that they lobby though.
So how can you say it's not a political issue when lobbying is what lobbyists do is they lobby politicians?
We went from going from teachers being able to protect the students of the school that they are there to actually bring up into adulthood to now politics. I mean, guns shouldn't have anything to do with politics, period. I don't believe that. And the people who are using them illegally and buying them illegally, if we get rid of all the guns, I guarantee you there's still going to be people out there. I mean, heroin's illegal, meth is illegal, weed is illegal, but yet that is everywhere in the United States. People are dying more from heroin now than ever before. But guess what? It's illegal.
Well,
so
guess what?
Instead of guns, why don't we worry about the drugs?
Actually, they're dying from opioid addiction. It's become one of the leading causes of death, and that's because of Big Pharma. And Big Pharma made, with the cooperation of a lot of doctors, and I don't think the doctors did this intentionally, giving everybody who comes out of the hospital from any kind of surgery or with any kind of pain a prescription for 30 Vicodin. So what happens is you get people addicted to legal prescription drugs, and then they cut you off, and then you go to heroin because it's cheaper. And now we have a problem with fentanyl, which is actually lethal.
10 times stronger than heroin is.
Yeah. So,
I've had plenty of friends die. My friend Tommy, he actually just passed away yesterday morning from heroin. So, no, I mean, it's everywhere, and honestly, I think that is one of the biggest problems and biggest concerns that we need to look into, a lot more than guns right now.
well, okay, so when we talk about lobbying and we talk about Big Pharma and how much they spend in Washington, D.C., they are the top lobbyists. I found this out from Bernie Sanders, who I supported in the Democratic primary. And because they're the top lobbyists, they can get away with murder. And you say something is political or something is not political. Everything is political because when you have lobbyists involved lobbying politicians, then anything becomes political. And education is political, health care is political, gun control is political, agricultural policy is political. There's nothing that politics doesn't touch.
I'm just a dumb redneck that likes to shoot.
Oh, don't say that about yourself. Everybody's got to get involved. You know, they've got to be figuring out what's going on because there's going to be something that's going to bother you at some point, and you're going to wonder how it came to be that this country got this way, that it would allow this sort of thing to happen. And my answer
if you think
to
about it, Hitler, Stalin, they all started by taking guns away from all the civilians and everything else like that. So, I mean, you can look at this in two different ways. You want to try to take away all of our guns, and then how would we create a militia or anything like that to defend ourselves from our own government if they do take away all of our guns? Just like happened with Hitler and Stalin. That's why it was so easy for them to overtake those countries.
But I actually studied fascism in college, and there's a lot of factors that went into the rise of Hitler. I don't know so much about Stalin, but a lot of revolutions go awry. I mean,
you have a degree in architecture, so way different things.
Very cool, very cool. So you're a creative type, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So talking about politics and getting back to guns again, tell me what you use your guns for, you currently use your guns for, and how often you use them.
I have a 45 that's next to my bed. That is for my house, my protection. I have a 12 gauge. I use that just to kind of go out with my buddies and shoot. I have an M14 Marlin. That's a 223. I use that for hunting. I also have a 308 I use for hunting, and I have a 30-06 that I use for hunting.
So can I take it that you're not an animal rights activist if you have no problem killing animals? And
Nope.
you
Up in Tennessee, I actually used to have a camera facing my front door and facing my back door, and if I saw an 11 point or higher pass by, I had my 223 right next to my front door, and I'd open my front door and take a couple shots, or mostly one shot, and then wrap them up with my quad, drag them in the back, skin them, gut them, and do it right there.
And you think this is okay because humans evolved from hunters and gatherers, and we needed to hunt prey in order to survive?
I don't think that's the only reason it's okay. I mean, I shoot one, good-sized deer. I feed me and my family for 2 weeks, I mean, how much does it cost you to feed your family steaks or anything like that for 2 weeks?
Now, what about the gun for protection? Have you ever had to use the gun for protection?
No.
Okay.
But I'd rather have it just in case. I have a daughter in my house, I have my fiance in the house, and if someone decided to break into my house with guns, and I would rather risk killing them than my family get killed or get hurt.
Okay, now my final question to you is, did you vote in the presidential election?
No, because it was between Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
So you basically sat it out.
If it was Bernie that was going to be in it, I would have voted for Bernie. But I would not vote for Hillary or Trump. I would not put that on myself.
Are you registered to any party?
No.
So you're an independent?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I like to make up my own mind. Whether I think a Democrat's right or a Republican's right, I'll make my own decision.
Did you vote in the Democratic Party primary for Bernie
I haven't voted in the
Sanders?
last 5 years.
So you didn't vote for Bernie in the primary?
Nope.
But if he were in the general election, you would have voted for him?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. A self-described redneck. Did you say Tennessee?
Yeah.
Self-described Tennessee gun-owning redneck who would have voted for Bernie. So, as we always say, Bernie would have won if the DNC didn't steal it from him. And let's hope that he does run in 2020, because with all these, and he's not even a Trump supporter, to this man's credit, sitting next to me, he knows Tweedledum and Tweedledee. And I like that you don't want to vote for the lesser of two evils, because we should not be voting.
We shouldn't have to. It embarrasses me that this is what America's come to. We were one of the greatest nations in the world, and now we're like 5th or 6th just because of stupidity. I don't like it.
Yeah. All right, so signing off from Kava Sutra Kava Bar here in Kava Sutra Kava Bar here in Lake Worth, Florida. This has been Lauren Steiner reporting for the Robust Opposition. Share this video.